Hi, happy Friday. I'm gonna talk about movies today because I woke up actually woke up like really early and then went back to sleep. But it was like 3:30 in the morning. But like I had a couple movies stuck in my head, and like with um, the inspiration that I need to watch those today. So I'm gonna do that. Um, and it's funny because like when I when when I was growing up, and then also much of my adult life, on weekends we would often go to the local video store like Blockbuster, um, and it was so much fun just browsing like that whole event of just going to the video store, looking around and seeing all the different genres of movies and seeing what were new releases, and like it was so much fun, like if you like going to libraries and looking at all the different options of books to read and that sort of thing. Well, this to me was like that, but like even better because I love movies. And my whole sorry, I can kind of I can kind of define and view my whole life through um through movies, like it's like you would a soundtrack in a movie, how it moves through the story, right? Well, that's what movies are to me, music and movies. They're little soundtrack um, of my life, like they move me through when I'm looking back, they move me through my life, and um, I can see those parts of my life and experience them through those movies. I don't know if that makes sense, but anyway, so I really was one of those people who loved going to Blockbuster on a Friday night, or sometimes even during the week, but like sometimes, most of the time, that would end up being part of like just something you do on a Friday night. Like maybe you went to um, out to dinner or something, and then hey, on the way home, let's go to Blockbuster, right? So, so we would do that a lot, and sometimes we did that also because it was so much more affordable than taking a family of 8 to the movies, right? I mean, we could afford to do that. Most people couldn't. So we would go, we go to Blockbuster, and everybody could pick out a movie, and we would just kind of go through those movies over the next, you know, maybe 2 days, because a lot of times they were like 2 or 3 day rentals. But so much fun. There were so many movies that I saw that I may not have seen otherwise, because like I would not have, those movies wouldn't have come to our movie theaters. Not all of them, there were a lot of different genres of movies that you could rent that would be very much not in theaters. So it was really fun, to explore and to to have that experience, and just and then the social aspect of it too, where you're just like looking at all the covers and the people standing next to you, whether it's your family or like complete strangers, and you talk to them about movies, and they give you their recommendations and tell you what they liked and what they didn't like, and that was so much fun. I loved that. I loved that so much. And it, our family, the family I grew up in, and also the family I have now with that I made with my husband and my children, like, we have always been like big movie people, and we've always had big collections of movies that we could watch at home. This is way before streaming. There was no streaming early in my growing up and in my marriage. There was no streaming. That's a newer thing, and so we got big collections of first VHS. Excuse me, it's morning and my throat is kind of not clear yet. But anyway, sorry. I have a frog in my throat. Hold on. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is we started out with a really big VHS collection, which a lot of families did, but my parents, when I was growing up, we had a big collection of that. And then when I got married, we started our collection for our family, and it got pretty big. And then everything moved over to DVDs. And then that was like, oh my gosh, it's like, we have to start over, right? But we eventually got a huge collection of DVDs, and some of it was purchased, for gifts and things, Christmas and all that, and some of it was like second-handed, like where you at a thrift store or on a, like, more recently acquired, like where you get it from, like a marketplace group or something, or that sort of thing, at a very, very discounted rate. And then my mom passed, and when she passed, we inherited her huge collection too. And you know what? I'm so happy we did, because although it is a lot, we have a lot of movies to to keep in our space, and a lot of people, especially the younger generations, they're very much, they don't want to be hoarders. And I don't want to be a hoarder either, but like, I'm kind of stuck in between the generations of what we would consider hoarding and then the minimalist type movement. I'm a little bit in between that, but like, if you see my house, it leans more towards hoarding. I think it's something I'm working on, but one thing I can say that's really cool about having the collection that we have, and is that I feel like I can go to Blockbuster on a Friday night. Like, that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna go downstairs to my I'm gonna call it Limbuster, because Lim is my last name, so it's Limbuster. I'm gonna go to Limbuster, pick out a couple of movies, bring them up here and watch them, and that is such a cool thing, to be able to do that and not have to depend solely on streaming. Because what do you do when streaming services are not playing the things that you want to see, right? Maybe their selections are just not great at the time, and there's nothing you really want to watch. Well, I mean, for us, we have our Limbuster that we can go to, and we can watch things that we already know we love. So I think that's great. And I just like a home book library. I still have movies in there that I haven't seen, if you can believe that. But it's the same as when you own books. Sometimes you buy books and then you just like never get around to reading the few books that you bought, and then you buy more books, and then I mean, a lot of my library I have read, and a lot of the movies I have seen, but there are still like a few here and there where I'm like inherited or, bought or whatever. And then I never got to actually watch or read those things. But anyway, and if there's ever like an apocalypse, no, if there's ever a time where streaming services are down, I don't have to depend on those. I mean, as long as I have power, maybe generator or something, I can watch a movie, right? I can watch a movie. Isn't that cool? So I think having our big Limbuster store in our house, I think that's a good thing. And it's actually been good for me too, while I've been kind of healing and having this chronic illness over especially the last 6 months, where I've been kind of stuck up here in my room, trying to improve. And I am improving because I'm actually up, right? And I am moving a little bit more around the house, but I'm still mostly up here because I do need to lie down a lot. But it's been good having the options of, besides the streaming, I can go down and I can pick out a couple movies and bring them up here and watch them. And last night my husband and I decided to watch, we have a copy, it's a made-for-TV copy of Trading Places. We watched that. So it's edited for TV, and we watched that last night. That was really fun. But today, I am totally on the Wizard of Oz vibe. That's happening today. I'm gonna go downstairs and look. I'm pretty sure we have that movie, but because my mom would have had it. So I am going to go down and look to see if I have that movie. And and I'm very sure that we have The Wiz, which is the one with Michael Jackson. It's still the story of The Wizard of Oz, but it's an adaptation of that, and I may watch that one as well. But for some reason, that Wizard of Oz, the scene that's like really resonating with me right now is the last part, of where the four of them and Toto go back to Oz, and they discover the man behind the curtain, okay? And they get really upset about that, because they've been betrayed, they've been deceived, and then he patches everything up with them and helps them with the things that they need help with, right? But the idea of him not being honest in the first place is really, that's just a shame that he was like that and taking advantage of them and living in his cushy Emerald City, while he takes advantage of everybody else, and then the illusion of him helping those people who came to him, when he was really just using them for whatever his purposes were. I have been feeling like that a lot lately, like for about at least a year and a half, I think. But anyway, not getting into that, just saying that that there may be some other things in that movie that I'm being drawn to and I need to reflect on. And so I just, the inspiration that's coming to me to watch the movie, and this has been happening with me a lot. I've been experiencing a lot of synchronicities and a lot of inspiration, just even when I'm watching regular TV shows or other movies on streaming or YouTube videos, or even in conversations with other people, like in my family, or mostly in my family, where they're telling me something, but then there's like a, I don't know how to explain this part, but there's like a there's a deeper, it's like I'm observing myself talk, listening in this conversation, but yet I'm getting like layers of meaning where what they're saying is a reflection of my world, inner world. I don't know how to describe this, but that's what's been happening. And so I am I am drawn to Wizard of Oz today, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be some symbolism in there that maybe I've overlooked, and that is very specific in what I need to observe today, and so that I can reflect on it, and then just because everything we do, everything in this life is about learning, right? And so I can learn what it is I need to learn from it. And so that's what I'm gonna do. And I don't know if there was anything else I wanted to say about any of this, but anyway, I love movies. I always have, and they have been like a huge part of my life. I often quote movies, especially in my head, and this happens with music too. Music lyrics. Somebody may say something, and then it like triggers the movie line or the lyric for a song, and the song or the movie scene plays in my head, and it's like, okay, and like it's just, I don't know, it just happens all the time, but it's kind of fun. It's not always irritating, but kind of fun. But yeah, I'm gonna walk downstairs to Limbuster and see if I can find that movie. And while I'm down there, I'll show you how our collection is. It's a big one. Okay. House is messy, but here's the big collection. Big collection of movies. See? Whole bottom shelf there. Kind of a messy house, but anyway, gonna look for, I think I'm gonna find it in here, because these are the musicals, so it should be in here somewhere. And things have gotten moved around. I had them all, like, hi babies. I had them all set up according to according to genre, but they got all mixed up. There's the Wiz. Found that one. Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find the Wizard of Oz, because I'm not really sure if we have it. I thought we did, but anyway, let me man, I don't know. That's a little disappointing if I can't find that. I'm not seeing it. Okay, well, it's possible that I already put it upstairs. Okay, let's see. I don't think... Is it in there? Nope. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll have to come back to that, but you can see we have a lot of movies. Lots of movies. So, yeah, but here at least I have the Wiz, but I really want to watch the Wizard of Oz. So, anyway, this is my Limbuster that I like to go to, and I do miss Blockbuster. It was a lot of fun, you know, walking down the aisles and seeing all the different options, and yeah. Anyway, I wonder if you guys do you like going to video stores too? Do you miss that? All right, well, that's all for today.